Hi, I'm Mark Fleming from Interactive Safety, and we're here today to show you how to change out your welding bucket on our PureFlow respirators. And key to that is interchanging and replacing the hinge on your respirator. The welding bucket is attached to the helmet with the hinge system on the side, which has a two-positioning lock system. And after a period of time, the little cams in the locks can be worn down. So you'll want to replace this cam system here at some time too. And what we'll be doing, you might want to replace your welding bucket here to a new larger bucket with a larger vision lens, and that's what we'll be doing today as well. So to start with, we're going to remove this blue flash helmet from this helmet. And to begin so, we just take off and remove the screws from both sides. Be deliberate when you remove these parts because they all come off and they end up on the floor rather quickly. Okay, the first side is off, and now we're going to take off the hinge from the other side. And again, be deliberate when you do this and have a clean work area, because if the parts fall on the floor, they might disappear, even though you'll get a new set of all replacement parts with the helmet. So just take your screwdriver and remove the screw. Deliberately pull off the hinge system and remove the bucket. Once you have the bucket off, you're left with our inner welding face shield. If the inner welding face shield is scratched or needs to be replaced, make sure you install a new one. That can be done so by just taking off the welding system, the inner lens, like so. Okay, once you have your protective lens removed from the helmet, gather all your parts. You'll get a whole package of brand new parts, and you can assemble those with the left and right. There's both left and right hinge attachments, and there's both left and right cam assemblies. On these little parts here, you'll see a little L or an R for right. They need to go on the left and right sides of the helmet. So what I'm going to do is remove the parts that we just removed. I'm going to install all new parts back on this helmet, starting with installing a new lens. First, what you want to do is first insert the washers that go between the primary lens and the helmet frame. Slip your lens over the top of that, and then you want to turn your helmet to the side. Okay, now that we have the primary lens on, the next step is to insert the locking mechanism for the face shield. And note again, there's a left and a right, and that on the inside here there's indentions for the cam system, and these indentions need to match up with the indentions and the protrusions on the hinge system on the top. So pick up your left cam system, match it up to the cams on the inside, and that locks it into place. And you'll notice there's about a 1/16 of an inch indentation. It falls down into the receptor to hold it in place. Okay, next we need to install the inner holder for the cam system, and on here you'll notice that there's two protrusions coming off of the mold that are little bumps that need to marry up and fit into two of these little holes here. It doesn't really matter which ones they go into, but it needs to go into those, and they need to stay in place. So pick up your piece and get that down into place, and when it's in place right, you'll notice it won't want to turn. So you know notice it's snug in there, but it's just sort of being set in there deliberately. Next is you put your spring system on top of that. So we've got our spring holder in place, we've got our spring in place, everything's nice and sort of snug in there, all the dots are lined up. Place your welding bucket over the top. Get your cap, line the cap up with the grooves on the inside, and you want that cap at about just off about 11 o'clock. Screw it down in, and when you screw it in snugly. Don't force it in because it can strip the inside. And then we've got that set and ready to go, and it's time to do the other side. Okay, now that you have the left side completed, you repeat the same process on the right. Pick up your right cam, insert it on the inside, and marry it up with the parts on the inside and snap it down so it sinks down into the receptor hole. Grab the spring holder, get it into its matching components. Get your spring, attach your welding bucket to the hinge, realign everything because if this isn't snug in here, it's all going to spin. Drop it right down over the top, and again, take your retaining screw, line it up at about 11 o'clock. And snug it down into place. Okay, now that we have both sides installed, you can see that we've got our locking cam here and our locking back cam. Everything fits nice and snug, and it's time to install our welding lens. Okay, now it's time to install our new welding lens. First, insert the lens protector for the outside. Pick up your welding lens, and you're going to marry up those 4 cuts on the welding lens with the inside. Just slide it into the frame and snap it down into place. So now that your lens is installed and snapped into place, your new welding helmet is set and ready to go with your cams all locking and holding the helmet in place. So now that you've seen the video on how to install the new welding helmet and put the locking cam system in place, you're set, ready to go. Please follow the instructions that come with your kit. If there's any questions, you can contact us at our website or call your local PureFlow representative. Thanks for using PureFlow.